Welcome everyone to video 3 of snakes. Okay, today we're actually going to be talking about lines. Those little creepy little things, lines. What are they? Well, lines are what we use to define a shape. They lead the eye. But how do lines express our thoughts or feelings? Well, there's 3 elements to lines, technical elements, we'll say, that we're going to discuss first. I call these the 3 L's. We have line control, line quality, and line expression. Line control is the direction of the mark you're leaving. So, if you're making a line and that line goes up and down, your eye, or the eye of the viewer who's looking at your piece, is going to go up or it's going to go down. And the same can be said as if the line or the mark goes diagonally. My eye, or the eye of any viewer, is going to look diagonally. This gives you a lot of control. So your marks are basically forcing people to look in specific places. That's line control. Now, line quality has to do with the thickness or the thinness of the mark you're leaving behind. So a thicker line can come across as being strong, inflexible, heavy, while a thinner line can come across as weak, flexible, and light. Line expression has to do with 2 elements. It has to do with the amount of pigment your brush or your tool that you're using to make your line has. It also has to do with the type of tool you're using, because the type of tool you're using to leave your mark is going to give a very specific footprint. Just like when you're wearing your shoes, your hiking shoes, if you have hiking shoes, are going to leave a different print than, let's say, your sneakers. And your sneakers are probably going to leave a different print than your sandals. It's the same thing for the tools you use when you leave a mark. So, line expression has to do with the amount of pigment and the type of tool. And just like you'd wear specific shoes for specific things, you're going to use specific tools to leave specific marks in order to get specific ideas, feelings across. So when you combine all 3 of these elements of line control, so the direction of the mark, your line quality with the thickness or the thinness of the line, and the line expression, basically the amount of pigment and the type of tool that you're using that creates a unique mark, that gives you a strong foundation to create something very unique, your own visual language, your own dialogue that you can share with a viewer. Okay, you guys, it's time for homework. Yeah. So, do you guys remember what you did last week with your snake, what you like and don't like, and your me, what you like and you don't like? Okay, so today I want you to take that me section of what you like and don't like, and I want you to make your own line index. Now this line index that I want you to make is going to reflect the mood, feeling, and tone of those words. So depending upon the amount of words that you use to describe whatever, whether it be the negative or the positive, I want you to come up with several marks. So if it's you had five things that you like about yourself, I want you to try to figure out 5 marks that you think express those words. Now, and same for the negative. Now, at this point, a lot of you are looking at, you're probably thinking, oh my God, how am I gonna be able to do this? Wow, that's hard, that's a little abstract. I don't know if I can do that. You can. And that's because now you have the tools of the 3 L's, right? You now understand the power that these lines have. That a mark leads to the eye. That a mark, if it's thick or it's thin, can give a feeling of weight and heaviness, or lightness and brightness. You also now know that if a mark has rough edges, depending upon the tool you'll use to apply that mark, that can give a very different feeling than, let's say, something that, like watercolor, that gives a very airy and very soft feeling. You now have a ton at your disposal. So I know you guys can do this. I know that you can make this happen. And I'm really excited to actually see what you guys have come up with. Now, a lot of you might be like, I don't have very many tools to use. Well, that's true. We can only use with what we have at home at this point. But you can manipulate them and you can play. You can be like, I like the mark that this pencil gives, but I want it to be bigger and broader. Well, make it a thicker line. You're making the rules about your line index, but you still need to do it though. It's because once you have that line index, that's going to be your vocabulary. That's your A, B, and C's for how you're going to share to the rest of us when you're creating your pattern for your snake skins and when you're designing the mask. So think about it, spend some time with it. Think about each one of those words. What do they mean? Are some of these words harsh? If they're harsh, maybe it deserves a harsh line. A line that's dark, has rough edges. Or is it soft? Is it gentle? Is it delicate? Well, I think that probably tells you a lot about the line that you need to make. Also, it's not just about line expression with the amount of pigment and the edges of the line. It also has to do with the line control. It doesn't always have to be a straight line. If let's say one of your negatives is an uncertainty or nervousness or anxiety, well, you can go ahead and you can express that by having a line that's jittery, or it doesn't quite go straight. It's bump, you're having a hard time. It seems like it's hard to control. You guys can do this, and I'm really excited to see your work. So until next time, have fun with this, and let's do this. Okay, you guys, until later.